Hello everyone and welcome to I Am Black Redefined. I'm your host KL, and in this series we're taking a look at different African Americans in the community who are uplifting the culture and just spreading light through their business, platforms, and of course their voice. And with me today is culture catalyst Robert Higgins Jr. How are you today?
I'm great. How you doing?
Doing great. Now Robert, you are a serial entrepreneur, you're a business strategist. Tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey.
With me, I started when I was so always throughout my life, I always been like, my mom was like, you always trying to hustle somebody. And I never understood what that meant. She always said, like, you always trying to hustle somebody, you always trying to hustle somebody. So I think more or less it started there in school, like in elementary, growing up, because I feel like everybody has a little hustler in them. You know what I mean? You just gotta bring it out. And where I grew up at, like, that's what we pride ourselves on. You know, I'm from St. Louis, and one thing that we say, like, you can't spell hustler without STL, and it just falls along with it. So, like, me going to Tennessee State University, I started off doing polos. So I used to get on eBay, buy polos in bulk, and sell them. You know what I mean? So that was my hustle. Like, I was like, until I made enough money to be able to take that hustle and throw my first party. But even before that, I was hustling to get to college. You know what I mean? They did lottery scholarships. I don't know if you're from Tennessee, but when I was in college, they gave lottery scholarships, and it was like $8,000 a year, $9,000 a year, $5,000 a semester if your parents didn't make enough money. Well, I knew I was good at that area because I knew my parents didn't make enough money regardless what the income was. Right. And from there, that was $9,000 a year for an 18-year-old guy that ain't never seen nothing. You know what I mean?
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot.
Me? So I took that and just tried to make the most with it, every semester, trying to take that $4,000. I invested that in polos, buying polos off eBay, and then flipping them until I take $4,000 and made $8,000. And $8,000 I made like $17,000. So with $17,000 I had more to work with. Wow. So I started throwing parties.
And you kept going with that entrepreneurial spirit versus, I made this money, now let me go buy some shoes or buy this or buy that. You kept it going and kept flipping it.
Yeah.
That's a great mentality to have at such a young age, I think.
Yeah, once you're on E, you're on E.
Yeah,
I don't never want to be on E.
I agree with that. So what challenges did you face?
And my first brick and mortar I ever opened was Jazz and Joke. That was my first brick and mortar. Great. I had it for 4 years.
That's a long time.
It is, especially downtown Nashville. Yeah. On 3rd Street. Nothing survives on that building. I swear that building was cursed. So every day was like a struggle for us because we had a cursed building, in my opinion. But we built a lot of relationships with that and got our feet wet in that. Okay. And from there we opened Weekend, and then Agenda. And then actually after Agenda, I opened a restaurant. It was called Cranky Chef. I had it for about 1.5 years. Okay. And that was my first time I never did the restaurant business before, I'm gonna say that.
It's a tough one.
It is tough. And I would say that I learned so much from it. We closed it, but kept the building, the amount of work, and it didn't, I would say that was my first testament in business where I felt like I didn't go into it the way I should, and it wasn't as successful as I wanted it to be. And it was a valuable learning lesson in that.
I was gonna say, but I know you learned from it.
I learned so much, you know what I mean? Taking what I've learned from it now, I would do it totally different, you know what I mean? And I feel like if I could do it again, it would be more successful, you know what I mean? So it's like paying to go to school. When you become a doctor, you pay to go to school, you pay somebody for them lessons. Right. I went to entrepreneurial school. I paid for my lessons. Be that me a win or a loss, I still pay for it. And I learned a lot from it.
I love that. Now, with all of the businesses, as you say, you are a proclaimed culture catalyst, and I definitely think you are. And it's more than just creating spaces for people to come commune, get to know each other, and vibe. I think you also do so much for the community as far as education, the youth. Tell us a little bit about one of your initiatives.
First thing I believe is knowledge. My parents always taught me that if you teach me how to fish, I'm gonna eat all the fish because I like fish. But if you show me how to fish, I can eat for the rest of my life. And that was my biggest thing, knowledge. So most people want handouts. My thing now is to teach people, and the best way to get knowledge is reading. Reading is one way that helps everybody in every situation, learn something. So I started a book club 3 years ago, which I provide, where we pick out books that we read and educate those that are, with knowledge to help them get to that next level. I feel like that is like, people always say, if you want to teach somebody something, put it in a book. If you want to hide something from people, put it in a book. And I believe that. Some of the biggest things that helped me get through so many obstacles in my life is the knowledge that I got in the book. So if I can pass that down to people, then I feel like I've done my due diligence in sharing books. I also do a lot within Big Brother and Big Sister. I've done that. I do that currently where, we go to Hillsborough High School and I'm helping high school students learn entrepreneurship and learn them, those who want to get into business. I'm going after school and showing them, and they're following me around and learning stuff about business that they may not know. You know what I mean? So it's basically hands-on practice. To them, they're saying it's free interns, which is not unpaid labor.
Right.
But it's them learning, hands-on what it takes to get into entrepreneurship, for them to open a business. If they want to open a business, we're helping them. So right now we're at, it's called the STEP program. And right now we're working with students at Hillsborough High School that want to get into, hospitality, that want to own their own business or do events.
And that's amazing, I think. And they probably don't even realize how valuable and priceless that knowledge is, especially like you said, the hands-on experience that they're getting at such a young age when they're impressionable and can really soak in all that knowledge.
Definitely.
I mean, they probably give them a few years, I think they'll be like, you know what, that was actually really great that I did that and was part of the opportunity.
If I had that opportunity, had been in college, I know I'd be a lot further. So,
but it's good though that you're reaching that hand back though and helping the youth. I think that's definitely admirable. For the new businesses that are coming up, what obstacles are they facing in the Nashville community?
Nashville, I think Nashville in general, minority business first off is difficult in Nashville. For some reason, I don't know why. I don't know. Will somebody find the answer to that? If I find it, we can do another interview on that. But I think that staying focused, staying positive, the biggest thing when businesses coming up in Nashville, I think, is losing track of what your initiative is, what your end goal is. I feel like if everyone stays positioned and focused on their end goal, not the beginning, because it's gonna be rough journeys. It's gonna be hard times. But if you focus on the end goal and don't waver, I think you'll be successful. Another thing is, not focusing on the crowd. You know what I mean? When I say the crowd, it's always going to be naysayers. It's always going to be people that tell you, everybody can tell you how to do it.
Right,
but they never
they're not the ones doing it.
Exactly. Everybody's going to give you opinions on what you should and shouldn't do. I think, take everything with a grain of salt. Learn from what you personally messed up on, and fix that. Take the mistakes, the things that you did well, make them even better. I think that Nashville is a growing city. It's growing rapidly with businesses opening up every day. I think that as a minority business, practice inclusion. That's one thing that that will make the business even more successful. We know there's not a lot of minority-owned businesses already, but if you can practice making everyone feel included, not only would you capture one market, you'll capture all. You know what I mean? Because that's one thing that the city doesn't have a lot of. There's a lot of inclusion. So practice on being inclusive in your business, and I think that it'll be successful because there's not a lot. So
I agree with that. And with your knowledge, with all of your experiences, I know you now are doing some consulting.
Yes,
so
I am.
Tell us a little bit about the consulting opportunities. If I'm a new business, or say I'm a business that's struggling, did you need some help, some insight?
So through my good things and my bad things, I've learned valuable lessons that I feel like, just like in books and what you take from the same books that you read, things that you take from people that you meet or your experiences. I want to help give those lessons to other people that are opening business or have opened a business that may need help in those areas. So what I've done is I've opened some of my website. It's roberthigginsjr.com, which allows people to contact me with any questions they might have, and we set up some consultation where I'll sit down and say, look, be it as a new business, you want to be an entrepreneur. You may already be an entrepreneur, or you may want to do events. You want to work on marketing, branding. You want to host more events, or become a host yourself, or become a personal brand. Those are all areas that I've done. You know what I mean? It's just like I've learned from the mistakes that I made, the successes and the failures. So it's like, why not help someone else not take the same road that I took? And I can look at a business, because I've done every type of hospitality business that you could do. I can look at it and say, look, take this and do this, because I had to do it for my own businesses. You know what I mean? I had a business that may have been struggling at a time. I tweaked it, did it, and my numbers doubled. So it's just like, it's the same steps for every business. You know, if you be able to look at a business and say, look, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do better. So just giving advice, you know, giving expert advice. I feel like I'm not the best, but I'm good. I'm trying to be great. I ain't there yet.
So like you're giving them a blueprint to
Yes.
kind of help them
Yes.
figure out how to navigate through.
Yes, and these are based on 15 years of experience.
Which
you know
is
what I
a
mean?
lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
You know, you go to doctors, they give you, they give you advice, which is really consultational based on your sickness, based on their experiences. They went through the process to become an expert at that. I've been through the process to becoming an expert at what I do, and I feel I can help somebody take their business to the next level. Because everybody wants to say, I operate $1 million business. You know what I mean? I do $1 million business. Well, every business I ever opened has generated that. So if I can help someone else do that, then it's like, I've done my due diligence, you know, young or small. It could be a 13-year-old. I can say, look, I can show you how to have the best 13-year-old business ever, because I've experienced those things, and you know, I have that knowledge to help someone else.
Now, before we end this interview, I want to know if you could sum it up in a sentence or two. How would you say you are Black redefined?
That's a good question. I feel like I am Black redefined because I've always tried to redefine what Black excellence or Black success was, and what being from the hood really meant. You know what I mean? I tell people this all the time, and this goes into what you're doing. Like, being from the hood should not be a way of people use as a statement used to show your toughness, but to show your strength. You know what I mean? Like, you can be from the, you know, most people say, I'm from
Blank.
whatever you're from, and that's supposed to make someone feel scared of you.
Right.
I want to say I'm from blank, and that should make someone feel like proud of you. You know what I mean? Well, he's from this person, or he's from there, that means he's successful. Because if you can go into these areas, these neighborhoods, and make it out and be successful, I think that you have a strength.
Yes.
So I want to redefine as being from the hood, not being tough, but being successful, articulate. You know, you made it out. You know, I'm from St. Louis and I made it out of this place. You know, not I'm from St. Louis, the murder capital of the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I want to redefine that for our, you know, young Black youth that may look at, you know, being from the hood as a negative thing. It's a positive thing. You know, being from the hood can be something positive. You know, I want to redefine what being from the hood is really about. When people say I'm from the hood, I want them to be like, oh, you know, wow. The same way they say I'm from Beverly Hills.
Right. And you're
You
like,
know what I
wow.
mean? Wow, you're from Beverly Hills. No, I'm from here. This is where this makes success. You know what I mean? Look where we make it from. Look at the odds we make it out. It's easy to make it out of a garden.
Right.
But it's harder to make it out the jungle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like, these people make it out the jungle. Let's applaud them. So I want to redefine what it means from being from the hood.
I love that. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today,
You're
Robert.
welcome.
I really appreciate you taking the time out and sharing with our viewers how you are Black redefined. Now, I would love for you all to join in on the conversation. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and on Instagram. The handle is @I Am Black Redefined. And check out our stories tab on the highlights and go ahead and screenshot that and share how you are Black redefined so we can share you on our stories. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next week.